Chinedu believed his love for Amara was the foundation of his world. It was a love that felt as steady and as constant as the rising sun. Every morning he woke up with a singular purpose: to see her smile. He saw her not just as his wife, but as the very heart of their home, the gentle rhythm to which his life danced. He remembered the day they met, her laughter echoing in a crowded market, a sound so pure it had cut through all the noise and found him. From that moment, he had vowed to build a life for her, a sanctuary where she would never know a day of want or sorrow. This was his promise, a sacred pact he renewed with every beat of his own heart. Their marriage was, in Chinedu's eyes, a beautiful story still being written. He worked tirelessly at his construction business, taking on extra projects and long hours, not for himself, but for her. He wanted to give her a life of comfort, a life that mirrored the beauty he saw within her. He would often come home tired to his bones, but the sight of Amara would erase all his fatigue. He saw their future as a long, sunlit road, filled with shared dreams and growing old together. He imagined their children playing in a big yard with Amara watching over them, her face glowing with happiness. This vision was his fuel, the force that propelled him through every difficulty. He often told his friends that a happy wife meant a happy life, and he lived by this mantra with unwavering dedication. Every kobo he earned was a step closer to fulfilling her next wish. He listened intently when she spoke, catching the small hints of her desires, the things she wanted but would never ask for directly. He cherished these small details, storing them away like precious gems. He believed that his efforts were nurturing their bond, making their marriage stronger. With each passing day, he was building not just houses for others, but a fortress of love for the two of them, a fortress he believed was impenetrable and safe from any harm. To Chinedu, loving Amara was as natural as breathing. It was an unconditional devotion that asked for nothing in return except her happiness. He saw his role as her provider and protector, a noble duty he was proud to carry. He never once questioned her loyalty or her love for him. Why would he? In his mind, their connection was pure and unbreakable, a testament to what true love could be. He was a man completely and utterly consumed by his love, a love that, unfortunately, had made him blind to the shadows that were quietly gathering in the corners of his perfect world, waiting for the right moment to emerge. The day Chinedu decided to buy the car was a culmination of months of secret savings and careful planning. Amara had once, long ago, pointed to a sleek silver sedan in a magazine and sighed, calling it her dream car. Chinedu never forgot that moment. He saw the car not just as a vehicle, but as a tangible symbol of his love, a grand gesture that would shout what he felt for her from the rooftops. He imagined her surprise, the sheer joy that would light up her eyes. The thought of it made him work even harder, pushing through exhaustion with a smile on his face. This surprise was for her, a testament to his unending commitment to her happiness. He arranged for the car to be delivered to their home while he was away, a big red bow tied neatly on the hood. He called her from his work site, his voice trembling with excitement, telling her to look outside. He could almost hear her gasp of delight over the phone, picturing her running her hands over the smooth, shiny paint. For Chinedu, this was more than just a gift, it was a milestone. It was proof that he was succeeding in his mission to give her everything she had ever wanted. He felt a surge of pride, a deep satisfaction in knowing that he had once again made his queen happy. He could not wait to get home and see her reaction in person. But while Chinedu was basking in the glow of his grand gesture, a different story was unfolding back at home. Amara was not alone. Their neighbor, Segun, a man whose friendly waves Chinedu had always returned with a smile, was a frequent visitor whenever Chinedu was away. Their connection had started with casual conversations over the fence, but it had grown into something deeper, something clandestine and forbidden. Amara found an excitement in Segun's company that was different from the steady, predictable love Chinedu offered. It was a dangerous thrill, a secret that belonged only to her and him. The new car, a symbol of Chinedu's devotion, became an unwitting accessory to Amara's betrayal. While Chinedu was at work, believing his wife was enjoying her new gift, she was using it to meet Segun in quiet, discreet locations far from their neighborhood. The very car bought with Chinedu's sweat and sacrifice was now carrying his wife to the arms of another man. The irony was cruel and profound. The happiness Chinedu had worked so hard to create was being systematically dismantled by the very person he was trying to please, in the very gift he had given her to prove his love. The first crack in Chinedu's perfect world appeared by accident. One evening, Amara left her phone on the sofa while she went to take a shower. A message lit up the screen, a name he recognized: Segun. The message was simple, yet it sent a cold shiver down Chinedu's spine. "I miss the taste of your lips. Can't wait for tomorrow." It was a message that had no place between a neighbor and his wife. Chinedu's heart began to pound in his chest, a frantic, painful rhythm. He tried to dismiss it, to find a logical explanation, but the words were too intimate, too charged with a secret meaning that he could not ignore. Doubt, once planted, grew like a persistent weed, choking the beautiful garden of his trust. Chinedu started noticing things he had been blind to before. He saw the way Amara would quickly hide her phone screen when he entered a room. He noticed the frequent vague excuses for her errands, the trips to the market that seemed to take hours longer than they should. The friendly waves from Segun now seemed mocking, filled with a hidden knowledge that made Chinedu's stomach clench. He felt like a stranger in his own home, watching a play where he was the only one who didn't know the script. The air grew thick with unspoken words and hidden truths. His suspicion pushed him to do something he never thought he would. He followed her. He told her he had an early meeting at a site far away, but instead he parked his truck down the street and waited. He watched as she drove off in the silver car, the car he had bought for her. He followed at a safe distance, his hands gripping the steering wheel so tightly his knuckles turned white. He watched her pull into a secluded guest house on the other side of town. A few minutes later, Segun's car pulled in right beside hers. The sight was a physical blow, knocking the air from his lungs and replacing it with a cold, heavy dread. The confirmation was absolute, and it shattered him completely. He sat in his truck for what felt like an eternity, staring at the guest house, the scene replaying in his mind. The betrayal was not just an act, it was a poison that seeped into every memory he cherished. Every "I love you," every shared smile, every moment of intimacy was now tainted, questionable. He felt a profound sense of foolishness, of being played for a fool by the two people he had trusted. The man he had called a friend and the woman he had called his life were together, their secret union a mockery of his love and sacrifice. When Chinedu finally drove home, the world had lost its color. The vibrant hues of his love and happiness had been washed away, leaving behind a bleak gray landscape of pain. He walked into the house they had built together, but it no longer felt like a home. It felt like a stage, a setting for a tragedy he was forced to star in. Every object, every photograph on the wall seemed to mock him with memories that were now lies. The love that had been his greatest strength was now the source of his deepest agony. He felt a hollow emptiness inside him, a void where his heart used to be. The betrayal was a wound that cut deeper than any knife. When Amara returned later that evening, her face glowing with a happiness that was not for him, Chinedu confronted her. He didn't shout, he didn't scream. His voice was quiet, almost a whisper, heavy with the weight of his broken heart. He showed her the messages. He told her he had seen her at the guest house with Segun. The denial in her eyes quickly faded, replaced by a cold admission. There were no tears, no apologies, just a quiet resignation that confirmed his worst fears. The woman standing before him was a stranger, not the Amara he thought he knew and loved with every fiber of his being. The heartbreak was immense, a tidal wave of sorrow that threatened to drown him. He had given his all, poured his entire being into making her happy, only to discover that his all was not enough. His love, as vast and as deep as the ocean, could not build a dam strong enough to stop her from seeking something else. He had believed that if he loved her perfectly, their bond would be unbreakable. But he was wrong. Her infidelity was not a reflection of his failure to love her, but a testament to a flaw in her character, a desire he could never have fulfilled because it was never about him. In the end, Chinedu was left with a painful but crucial lesson. Love, in its purest and most devoted form, is not always a guarantee of loyalty or a shield against betrayal. It cannot, by itself, keep a relationship safe from the choices another person makes. Sometimes, no matter how much you give, no matter how hard you work, love is simply not enough to hold a fragile heart together. Chinedu's story became a sad reminder that the foundation of a relationship requires more than just one person's unwavering devotion. It requires the equal commitment of two, a truth he learned in the most heartbreaking way possible.